Before I go into the details of the method, it's important to understand the background. So I'm going to look at why repair is good, at how technology has changed with time, and at some of the processes which cause things to break and need repairing. So, what is the case for repair? Why should we repair things? Materials are scarce. I'm going to take the example of old-growth timber. In the 19th century, many good products were made using wood from ancient forests. In these forests, there were trees of many different heights, and this meant that young trees didn't get so much light, so they grew more slowly, producing timber which is denser and more durable than what we have today. But these forests have gone. We no longer have the material. So if we want wood of this quality again, we're going to have to reduce our consumption so that the trees can be allowed to grow more slowly. If we look at plastics, most plastics are derived from crude oil, which is pumped out of the ground, a non-renewable resource which we need to conserve. And even when it comes to common materials, to the iron ore and aluminium ore, which are abundant in the Earth's crust, these take a colossal amount of energy to smelt them into useful metals, and inevitably, that energy comes from fossil fuels. Lastly, the more materials we consume, the more we fight over them. And we're already seeing the problem that many scarce minerals come from conflict zones. Recycling is wasteful. This may come as a surprise to many people, but recycling is only a second best or third best option. It's not like it was centuries ago when, if you had an unwanted gold ring, you could take it to a talented goldsmith and he would forge it into a new ring. You can't make a new smartphone out of an old smartphone or a new car out of an old car because the recycling processes contaminate and degrade the materials too much. Partly because modern products aren't designed for repair, they contain a diminishing proportion of metals, and they can also be very hard to take apart. And these two things mean that recycling can be difficult. Large recycling operations often have a shredder and conveyors and automatic sorting, and small operations have hand tools and open fires and acid baths. But whichever approach you choose, at the end of the day, you're only going to get back the metals. The rest gets wasted. And this means that recycling cannot give us a free pass to throw away a product with a single broken part. That's insane. That's like saying, my kid broke the window, so I'm going to tear down the house. Skills open doors. If you can fix something with your own hands, it gives you independence from consumer society. Maybe you can live further out of town. Maybe you can live off-grid. Maybe you can find a more fulfilling occupation because jobs in mining and recycling are often dirty and dangerous. And what's more, repair is well suited to small, local businesses which don't externalize harm. And when it comes to the environment, smaller is usually better. Permanence brings stability. If you replace your laptop charging port or the carbon brushes in the motor of your vacuum cleaner, life becomes less of a rat race because you're saving maybe 90 or 95% of the value of the product. And that means you don't need so much money, so you don't have to work so hard, so you have more time for your family and friends and hobbies. And very often, durable and repairable products come from old companies. Fama of Italy, maker of espresso coffee machines, 79 years old. Metro Vagonmash of Russia, trams and rail cars, 127 years. Karl and Emil Fine of Germany, electric power tools, 157 years. And each of these old, established companies provides stable livelihoods for its employees, teaches them skills, it gives them a source of pride, and you will never find that pride in a company which commodifies its manufactured products. Now, if you doubt what I'm saying, if you think that progress is linear, that we've reached the pinnacle of human development, then I'd ask you to stop for a moment and think about a man who attends a banquet. Has he reached the pinnacle of his own personal development if he eats more than everybody else?